We're going to start with the Siftei Chaim Musar. This is an introduction to Avodat Tikkun Amidot. The Siftei Chaim, he's a student, a freelander. Yeah, look at the beginning of Chaim, freelander. He was the head of Panovich Yeshiva in a Negev and Tivot. He was a student, Talmid Muvak of Desler. Okay, so we're talking about the real deal. Okay, he wrote an incredible Sefarim. I've given you guys many Divrei Torah of his, right, from many different places. And I'm just going to go through a little bit of the introduction of what it is, because he's got two books just on Midot and Avodat Hashem. In the beginning of his Sefer, he speaks about Emet, then Anava, Ka'as, Shetika, Chesed, Akarat HaTov, Noseh Be'or, Shiviti Hashem and Vitamin, and then Bitachon. It's all in one book. And each one, Mamash, no, Mamash, like it goes deep, it goes beautiful. So just listen to the style, right, of how it is. And he says like this, Derech Le'emtzait, the middle path, the golden path. Katav Rambam, the Rambam means down in Hechal Deot. Chol Yaguf Toamim Amar Matok Umatok Ma. When somebody's sick, yeah, they taste that which is bitter, sweet, and that's what's sweet. They taste it bitter. Nowadays, there's even such a thing that because of Corona, that you don't taste anything. But it's the same thing. They taste one way that yes, some people who they're sick. Sometimes they want to eat things which is not even edible. For example, afar, dust, dirt, pecham, coals, right? And they don't like good food. For example, bread, meat. So too people, human beings, cholot, they come and they say they're sick, right? He says over here, these people that are sick, they like bad midot. They hate the good way, the good path. And they're lazy to go on it. It's very difficult because they're so sick. So what's their refuah? Right? How I was thinking, what is their refuah? So he says, yeah, as follows. Somebody that gets angry very quickly. Yeah? Somebody gets angry very quickly. So what happens? They tell him go to the other extreme. Somebody's going to curse you or hit you, right? You don't want nothing, right? You're not going to do anything. Go to the other extreme for a long time until you're not going to have any chema in your heart. And go back to the middle path, which that's a good path. When you're going to go back to the middle path, you go there the entire lifetime. You do that with everything, not only on kas and on everything. You always go to the other extreme to bring it back. Yeah, you continue doing that for a long time until you go to the midah benonit. Okay, now it says like this. We make a lot of mistakes in our own reality, in our own matzav. Why? The machalot midot shelan, with our midot, we think that with all the midot, we're usually in the middle. We're already in the golden path, and only in certain midot, we have a problem. And the reason why is because since by machalot aguf, that Hashem by machala of the body, Hashem does a chesed that when it hurts, right, and then so it's giving a sign to a human being that he's not healthy. All of a sudden, a person has headaches. He's got stomach aches. He's got this. So the body is giving a sign that he's not physically healthy. But on the other hand, to do with the neshama, and adam chash, a person does not feel it. And he doesn't have any simanim that they're going to awaken him according to his matzav. And therefore, at the beginning, he has to pay attention and to understand what's going on. And only afterwards, right, when he realizes, he has to start looking for the refuah. And we have to know that we are actually sick in a lot of midot. And in order to fix them, he says we always have to go to the opposite, like the Rambam says, and then we go back to the middle path. So he says like this. He says, Talmud Sefet, there's another mistake in understanding what is the middle path. We think, right, that what is the derech pshuta, right? What is the simple path which is between the two extremes? Derech kala she'ena doreshet avodah u'ma'amatz. We think that it's very easy and we don't need any work for it. In order to make our midot and to go to the middle path, right? We come, משתמשים קצת בקצה אחד של המידה, וקצת בקצה השני של המידה. אומנם it's not true. הדרך האמצעית מיזוג המידות, ולא טעימה מכל מידה ומידה, which means it's a mizug, it's actually when we're going to come, it's like we're putting them both together, and what we're doing is we're doing like a compromise of both of them, putting them in front of us, and now that you're tasting from both sides, right? Because remember, midah is a gvul, right? Midah is a measurement, which means you're using something to a certain measure. And these are the words of the Rambam. The Rambam says that in every single midah, that it's going to be very distant from both of the lichuk shaveh, that it's going to be both. You're equal on both sides. You're not close, not to one extreme and not to the other extreme. And therefore, the Rishonim said, a person should always evaluate, right, their midot and to put them in the middle path forever. This is the way that we're going to come. And after a person fights very hard, he's able to start fixing his midot one by one. So he says sometimes the person is obligated to use the katzeh, one extreme of the midah, when according to the we're going to say according to that circumstance, right? He understands what he's supposed to do. That he shouldn't use, for example, his money by throwing it away. And the opposite, if his nature is that he's a kamtzan, you know what a kamtzan is? Yeah. Somebody that's a miser. Yeah, and in Shkala Chokmah, right? It says he has to give to his friend from his property. So then he should actually come and subjugate his nature to understand that. That's what he should do all the time, in every single midah, because there's no midah that is 100% negative. Every single midah, there's only something positive and something negative. So he says, and in each one of them, there's a truth to it. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu created all of them for necessity. And therefore, we have to actually use every single one of the midot. And therefore, he comes and he says, sometimes they look even contradictory to each other, but you always have to use them, each one at the proper time.